So now we can start with all the different ways. So first one is artist. Now an artist is the talent behind the industry, and we talk about more in the music industry part of it, where the music industry starts with artists as the core, at the center, because they are the ones who are making that music that everyone is enjoying, right? Now, these artists can make money in about 8 ways in total. I'm gonna start one by one. So, live shows. Now, live shows are the most common ways to making money for an artist, especially if they are a beginner. Now, most of the artists, even indie artists, they start out with playing and showcasing their talent as cover musicians. Now, cover musicians mean they will be singing Bollywood songs or songs of other people that are already out there. So they're not writing their own songs, they're not creating their own songs, and they're just performing this these songs that are already there out in the world. So live shows is the best way to start. Now live shows includes needs where you need to be, as an artist, you need to go to a venue and tell them that you are a good artist, you have a guitar or you have a cajon or you have whatever instruments you have, and then tell them that you're good enough to perform in front of an audience, and that you should be paid for that. Now, for the venue, they are up for it because they want to entertain their audience, and as the artist if the artist is good, the venue will be willing to pay them more and more over time. But it is also a very competitive area because every artist from the beginner starts there. That means anyone who is good enough, maybe from college, who've just started out, they are also coming there, and obviously they're not going to charge as much as you would be charging after, say, 6 months, 8 months, 9 months, whatever. So they might come into the industry and say that we'll be doing a show just for 3,000 rupees, where you're charging 10,000 rupees for the same gig, for the same time, for the same set of songs. So, so what are the key identifiers? What are the key differences between a person who's just a newbie, who's just started out, and a person who's good, right? So, live shows. So, first of all, you need to contact the venue. Now, you find these venues in your local area. So, in Jaipur, suppose there are about 100 venues like this, mostly pubs, cafes, bars, places where people hang out, mostly social clubs, social nightlife places. So it could be nightclubs as well. And you go there, you tell them that I'll give you a demo right in front of you right now if you want, or I can perform once for free on a weekday. A weekday, I say weekday because weekdays are slow for the venue. On a weekend is where most of the venues are making most of their money. So they don't want to experiment on something that is an important day. So they would want to try you out on a weekday. So go there, ask them that, hey, do you guys do live shows, live sets? I perform this. So give out your genre list, give out the songs that you do. They might ask you for a demo right there if you're a singer, but if you're for the band, you'll have to call them, you'll have to ask with them when do they want to see you first. And also at the same time, when you're suggesting for a demo, you also have to pitch your price. Now, price can be anything that you feel like. There is no benchmark, but yes, normally it can start from 2,000 rupees for a gig, and a gig means about 2.5-3 hours, right? So 2,000 rupees for a gig, and it can go up till 50,000 rupees for a gig for a single person doing the same show. So you have to tell them with your work, with your sound, with everything that you do, with your photos, with your videos, with your social media profile, how good your work is. So that is the first part. So go out to the venue, ask them for a demo, tell them that you can do it on a weekday, you can do it for free, you'll get your whole band, and show them how you perform and interact with the audience. And then third, quote your price, and quote your price according to whatever feels right to you. Now, there's also one more thing. Most of these venues are notorious for not giving out money on time. So you need to ask them for 50% advance when you book or when they are booking you, and 50%, the remaining 50%, to be given on the same day after half of the performance. That means you are done with half your set, and say you start at 8, so by 9:30 you go and ask them, hey, can you give me this remaining amount so that we complete our set? Because if you wait till the end of it, that makes it a problem, because then once your work is done, they can hold your money for longer, and that might put you in trouble. So this is a good way to do it. You can also ask them for a post-dated check. Post-dated check means you get 50% right now, so that check can be put in the bank right now, and post-dated check for the other 50%, that means you can only put the check after the performance is done. So you can do both of these ways to start out with live shows. And it's a great way. People are making 50,000 rupees per month with just doing live shows in a small city like Jaipur. Like, imagine doing it in Delhi or Bombay or Goa. Even Goa is a good place to start out with for this. But if the cities are bigger, if the market is bigger, obviously there are more artists also. So if you're good at networking, if you're good at talking, if you're good at approaching the venues, then live shows is a great way to start out your career, at least for the short run. You can't sustain it because you can't always be performing at these venues, so it becomes more like a hobby later on, but it's a great way to start out for a newbie and get your confidence up. Now, next up, number two is sponsorships. Now, sponsorships are big. They are big. They don't work for small artists like local artists, but if you're an indie artist who is doing a tour across the country, or who has a very niche, very specific audience base, that is, say you have a specific audience base of 25 to 35-year-old males listening to your song when they are sad. Like, think about it. How many 25 to 35-year-old will there be who are listening to your music when they are sad? And if you can be part of that niche, then you can ask a brand to come in and say that we are targeting this niche and we have this audience which fits your brand perfectly, which fits your product perfectly. And so they would be open to do a sponsorship for you. Now, the whole idea of sponsorship is a barter system. You give something to them and they give you money in exchange. So you give them, one, the audience, so access to your audience, and also you're also endorsing the brand, right? So you're telling your audience that you trust this brand personally, and so that builds up the trust level for the brand in that audience that you support. So sponsorships are a great way for indie artists, people who have a good following on social media or YouTube or email list, or any way that you can materialize that. Who is it that you are targeting? Where is it that you perform? Who listens to your songs? Who comes to your gigs? Things like this, when you can put it down on paper, when you can put it down in front of someone, in front of an executive of a brand, that's when you get ahead and you get to the point of sponsorship. Now, to start off with sponsorship, you need to first make an EPK. Now, EPK is an essential thing for everything that you do. It's like your profile, it's like your resume. Everything that you do, the videos that you've created by yourself or of the shows that you do, the photos that you've been taken, good professional photos, your bio, what you will write about yourself, and that also needs to be there in the EPK, and all of it we'll cover EPK as well in one of the videos. So that is one thing. Start out with an EPK that you need to send to the brand, send to the right product. So second is make a list of brands, products, places, things. It can be anything. It can be a hotel, it can be a hostel, it can be a product that you use. It could be a mobile brand, it could be earphone, headphone brand, anything that makes it relevant to target your audience. So you also need to, third is you also need to understand who is your audience. So who is it that listens to you? Is it teenagers that listen to you, or is it executives that listen to you, or is it young adults who listen to you? So if you get all of that right, then you can make a pitch to these brands. To make a pitch, you need to either get an agency, or you can do it by yourself as well. To do it by yourself, you need to find the people who are making these decisions. So mostly what happens is it's an ad agency for brands, or it can also be an internal office. So all of that you need to figure out for reaching out, and then you need to email them, follow up. It's a long process, it's not small. It'll take you at least 3 months to get your sponsorships done and finalized, and then finally don't work just on words. You need to get it on paper, get it in writing, get it in a contract where it says how much you will be paid, and what will it be that you will be doing for the brand, and what will it be that they will be doing for you. So that is sponsorships. Third is teaching. Now teaching is crazy. Teaching is beautiful. That's why I got into teaching music business, because it is such a game-changing way. Now, as an artist, you have the talent, you have the skill, you have the ability to teach other kids, because you must have learned it from someone, and it's such a noble job. Like, unless you share it with someone, how are they going to learn? How is the new generation going to learn different things? So you need to be great at what you do. It could be guitar, it could be singing, it could be anything that you do, yeah, anything at all. So all of it, you can figure it out, and then you can go and approach it 3 ways. One is institute or schools. So institutes or schools are the places where you can go and just tell them that you are this player, this artist that plays a particular instrument or sings, and you will teach it to their kids. Now this is a flat fee figure, so they will give you a salary, say monthly salary, and there'll be a contract, whatever time frame that you guys figure it out, and that's it. Nothing of your own. You just have to show up every day, and you have to take that class of whatever number of people there are, and that's your job. The second one is where you're taking home tuitions. So you go to different students at their home, give them personalized teachings and training. So if a student wants to learn guitar, you're teaching them every day, every alternate day, and teaching them how to play guitar well. And parents really like it, because it makes that particular student feel special, one, and second, they learn faster. If there's pressure on someone, single-handedly in a class, what happens is there are a lot of other people as well, so the focus gets lost. But if there's one single person who is under constant vigilance, then they learn faster, because they have to. It becomes like a pressure on them, like a good pressure. So that's another way, home tuitions. The third way is online teaching, what I'm doing. So online teaching is where you can reach people from far and wide. You don't have to restrict yourself to a geographical location, but rather you can just reach people, whoever wants to look up. And and there is great requirement need for online teachers in the music space. So you need to check different ways, like you can check platforms like Udemy or Thinkific. Thinkific is a platform where you can host your own shows. So you can check